that you cannot control. You got to let go. Sometimes you can't tell the dark from the light when you're standing so close. There won't always be tomorrow. All we have is here and now. Life is sweet, but time is borrowed. All we have is here and now. I read your letters and I crumble like the pages. So much I never got to say.
You should put that on mute. Because
All we have is here and now. All we have is here and now.
I don't know how to begin, asking you to let me in. At the door, on the ledge, with this remedy, this pill. Oh, this'll be the day. Nothing helps to kill the pain, nothing standing in your way. So come on, take a look inside, in the darkness and the light. With every second passing by, every dream that's been denied fades away. This'll be the day. I'm having trouble letting go, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Steady on the edge, looking straight ahead. Oh, this'll be the day. So come on, take a look around, just before you hit the ground. It's always dark before it breaks. You always learn from your mistakes, no matter what they say. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. It's always dark before it breaks. You always learn from your mistakes. So come on, take a look inside, in the darkness and the light. With every second passing by, every dream that's been denied fades away. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. This'll be the day. Today I'll take my own advice and make the most of it. Too many times my choices have been guided by my fears. Into the dark and unknown water I will sink or swim, like a blade of grass reaching for the sun. I'm ready to begin. And I keep on climbing up against the wind. Tonight Say, Angelina, do you remember winter in Boston, the 1st of December? You looked lost, and I was scared, under the weather, underprepared. I go out on my own, but you're still in my bones. Angelina, I didn't mean to let you down. 4 a.m. mornings, train rides to Brooklyn. She sings like Aretha when nobody's looking. All these scenes pass us by, running on empty, we run for our lives. I go out on my own, but you're still in my bones. Angelina, I didn't mean to let you down. Angelina, ain't it strange? Wake up one morning and everything will change. Angelina, look around. Lights go off in your mind that you can't put out. Angelina, typical nightmare with the sunlight in my eyes. Maybe I've been sleeping all my life. 1,000 words can't begin to paint all the pictures we have seen. They say everything looks good in black and white. It's in my blood, it's in my mind, speaking through me all the time. It's in my blood now, it's in my bones, shaking me. Where were you when I was 17? It's in my blood now. I was born in a mystical moment when the water's still like water. Maybe I'm still running from it all. All these photographs of family only tell you one side of the story. It's in my blood, it's in
running through your heart. It's in my blood, it's in my mind, speaking through me all the time. It's in my blood now, it's in my bones, shaking me. Take me back when I was 17. It's in my blood, it's in my mind, speaking through me all the time. It's in my blood now, it's in my bones, shaking me. Take me back when I was 17. It's in my blood now, running through my memories. Running from and from my memories. Running from and from my memories. Running from and from my memories.
I've been waking up at sunrise, talking in my sleep. I've been giving it away and hoping you'll stay and listen for free. I've been up into the night time and staying out late. I've been pushing like hell 'cause I know too well there's no reason to procrastinate. On fire, we are the shooting stars, bright for a moment gone. On fire, your endless energy, I'm gonna feel it forever, forever, forever. Feel it forever, forever, forever. I've been drinking with the demons, reminiscing with the ghosts. I keep ringing those bells, the stories he tells always stops at the part that I love the most. There's a branch in the family tree, and it's hanging by a thread. You can got it, you can take it, you can leave it, but it's always gonna follow you there. On fire, we are but shooting stars, bright for a moment gone. On fire, forever, forever, forever. Feel it forever, forever, forever. I feel it forever, forever, forever. Feel it forever, forever, forever. Ooh. Whoa, hey, whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. Maybe we're just dust in space, and maybe we're alone. Or maybe what you give to me is what I give to you, and then we pass it on. Whoa! I've been waking up at sunrise, talking in my sleep. I've been giving it away and hoping you'll stay and listen for free. Forever, forever, forever. Listen for free. Forever, 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 forever. On fire.
Truth is like a lie and you don't need to defend it. Love is just a word when there's nobody listening. Shining like the sun and the moon and the stars. You know I'll take you just the way that you are. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. No more hiding in the dark. Turn your lights on. You got to shatter the silence with your beautiful noise. You know the birds will be bees and the girls will be boys. Secrets will lead you if you let them defeat you. Know you might as well just be who you are. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. No more hiding in the dark. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. Yeah. You can't run away. Hey. Hey, you can't run away from what you got inside. Hey, you can't run away. Hey, you can't run away from what you got inside. Hey, you can't run away. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. No more hiding in the dark. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. Hey, 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 turn your lights on. Nine months in, my next of kin carries the world around. Feet on the ground, that same old town begins to come alive. So come on, you dreamers, midnight schemers, hold on to each other. It's about to get rough, but good luck. Lord knows we're gonna hit some bumps along the way. Well, goddamn, almighty love is gonna save us now.
Pretty much. You just unmute it.
Hi.
So who are you when the world goes blue and the sun begins to fade? hit some bumps along the way. Well, goddamn, almighty love.
Give it all away. In the end, you can't take it with you anyway. I know. Tell me where to go when I'm sober. If you wanna go and play games with the devil, you're gonna have to get down to his level. I told her it ain't over till it's over. My, it's alright. Things you gotta do just to survive. My, it's alright. I get by. Sign my name, cross my heart, swear my ever dying love and then tear it apart. I told her it ain't over till it's over. Read it online, saw it in a dream, put it on the credit card and watch it disappear. Don't worry, Daddy's gonna handle all the money. My, it's alright. Things you gotta do just to survive. My, it's alright. I get by. My, it's alright. Things you gotta do just to stay high. My, it's alright. I get by. Hey, hey.
by, trying to survive. Things I gotta do just to keep it alive. I get by with a little help from my friends, yeah. I get by and we gon' make it to the end, yeah. I'm the devil trying to hold me down strong, but I'm on another level, keep moving along, yeah. And it's further, yeah, the closer I get, yeah. I keep on moving on, yeah, till I'm seeing red.
If you wanna go and play games with the devil, you're gonna have to get down to his level. I told her it ain't over till it's over. My, it's alright. Things you gotta do just to survive. My, it's alright. I get by. My, it's alright.
night. Everybody go home.
All right. Can folks see me and hear me? Hey, how's my hair look? All right. We are good to go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Alex Fax. I am your MC for tonight's outstanding David-Judea Gala dinner. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of what will be a terrific night. We are here to celebrate B'nai David and two outstanding families that exemplify so many things that we take pride in our community. Here we are with Noah and Sandy Blumoff, and with Ariel Stein and Sarah Smith, families that exemplify ideals of Torah and Tefillah, families that set the standard for engagement, reaching out, and hospitality, and just terrific folks. What a great time to be together. What a great night. We have a really great, not me, our committee has a really great program put together for tonight. We're going to hear from some great people. We are going to have a nice musical interlude, which I hope you enjoy. And hopefully you are all kicking back with a little wine and some yummy dessert to help enjoy the evening. It is a very nice program. It is also a short program, so we can get your full attention, and you can hear everything that you will hear about these great couples and about the show over the next few minutes. We are living in extraordinary times. We could talk a lot about that. I'm not going to. We are here to celebrate. We are here to enjoy each other's presence, and I want to focus on that. But I will say one thing, which is, if you think about it, this is the first time since March that we as a community have come together as an entire shul, as an entire community. We have many subgroups that are meeting. We have minyanim, teen minyan and backyard minyanim. We have shiurim going on. There is lots of programming that is being done in various corners and in creative ways. But we really haven't come together as a group since March. Just hasn't been possible. So here we are today. Let's celebrate us all being together. But I am going to give you a task. And I'm going to draw from the Rav Yosef Kanevsky playbook. I can tell you almost as a guarantee that had we been in shul, at some time between March and now, you would have heard the following. You would have heard Rav Yosef say at the end of davening, please look to your left, look to your right, find someone you don't know, and reach out and introduce yourselves to them. It's a virtual guarantee. So what I'd like you to do today, in that spirit, is not reach out to a new face, but reach out to an old friend that you may not have seen. It's hard to see people these days, but someone you may not have seen. You can see all the names of the participants. We got a lot of folks here at the dinner. Look for someone who you haven't been in touch with because it just hasn't been feasible. Drop them a note in our chat room. You can call a shout out to everyone. You can do it on a private line. Let's take this moment to get together to actually mill around a little bit and socialize to the extent that we can. We don't get many chances, not for a little while. So let's take advantage of this opportunity and really come together as one community. That's my homework assignment for you all. With that, let's get the pro going. We will begin. All please rise. Yes, please rise for the singing of the national anthem and Hatikvah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, proof through the night that our flag was
Welcome back. Thank you to everyone who prepared that. Thank you to Robbie for correcting my pitch in the video where you saw me. And let's keep the program moving. I'd like to ask Rabbanit Alyssa to take the stage. She is going to introduce our first set of honorees. Rabbanit Alyssa.
Mazel tov. Uchshani la'atzmi, ma ani. If I am only for myself, what am I? Our honorees this year live this teaching from Pirkei Avot in all they do. Far before COVID, Sandy and Noah were willing to open their homes to Torah and mitzvot and seemingly infinite Shabbat and Yom Tov guests with joy and humility. They annually host the Young Professional Tikkun Lel in honor of Rabbi Dr. David Blumov, Zichrono Livracha, and are a constant, warm, and welcoming, smiling presence in shul and beyond. This year, the Blumovs have taken their Hachnasat Orchim to the next level. They have made every effort, big and small, to make their home ours, BDJ Southwest. In short, they are essential to making B'nai David not just a shul, but a family. We are honored and blessed to celebrate you this evening. And I can personally say that Akiva and I are grateful for your friendship, your warmth, and invites over the years. Sarah and Ariel share in this passion and spiritual commitment, not only to serve the Jewish community, but to treat the B'nai David family as their own. Each of them teaches Torah regularly at B'nai David, as well as share in a love of davening and laning. From serving on our shul board and education committee, to organizing our annual Shavuot learning, to davening from the Amud on Shabbat and Chagim, to teaching Shabbat Shiurim and beyond, Ariel gives from his heart and his mind to our shul. His passion for halacha, which is nothing short of zeal, coupled with his voracious ethic of learning Tanakh, is inspiring. What's so striking, though, is that he is not only a deep and thoughtful person, but he's also hilarious and humble. As a side note, certainly worth asking him about. These two sides of Ariel come together in a phenomenal Shabbat game that he co-created called Hamevin Yavin. Since he came to B'nai David a couple years ago, Ariel has enhanced our learning, brought so much humor to our young professional community, and has elevated all of us with both his voice and his mind. Sarah is a pillar of B'nai David. When I first came here, everyone told me about her bat mitzvah, the Shirat Chana bat mitzvah, and how impeccable her laning is. In my mind, she was one of the female leaders here far before I came. and certainly continues to be to this day. Sarah teaches B'nai Mitzvah kids laning and davening and helps them with Divrei Torah. Her laning skills are renowned, including her annual reading of the Megillah on Purim evening at B'nai David. She teaches regularly on Shabbat and Chagim, and from co-leading Teen Minyan to leading Teen Girls Coffee Club, she is a role model for our teens, especially our girls. As we all know, Sarah comes from a family that is part of the DNA and core hospitality of B'nai David, and she has also made her own family and reputation of equal caliber. To put it simply, Sarah and Ariel are simultaneously the foundation of BDJ and the future of BDJ. With their amazing and vibrant kids, Ziv and Liron, Sarah and Ariel embody a steadfast and loving commitment to Torah and mitzvot, as well as creativity, inclusion, and joy in the journey of serving God and his people.
It's funny
They
how
are
some people get
reliable,
dressed.
kind, giving,
They did?
and holy people. And fun fact, they are also one of a handful of B'nai David couples, husband and wife, who both teach at Nothing But the Pshat. Uksha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani. If I am only for myself, who am I? This is Sarah and Ariel. It wouldn't even occur to them to only be for themselves. Akiva and I feel privileged to be among your friends, and Ella is so blessed to spend every day playing at daycare with your kids. The BDJ family is honored this year to celebrate you and all you give during COVID, before COVID, and Bezrat Hashem after. We know that BDJ has a bright future ahead with your leadership, soul, and commitment at the helm. Mazel tov.
Sarah Smith and Ariel Stein are both incredible people. Sarah used to be the teen girls leader at Teen Minyan, and I just remember her being so patient with all of us and answering my many questions on Shabbat mornings. She dedicated so much time to us and teaching us and learning with us and having discussions and really just connecting. She was really inspiring, and I hope to be following in her footsteps as the new teen girls leader at Teen Minyan. I'm so happy that the both of them are being honored for their dedication and time to us and to B'nai David.
Sarah and Ariel, you each grew up understanding the importance of playing an active role in shul life. In fact, in your case, Sarah, you literally grew up at B'nai David. This is why we couldn't be more proud of you both as you continue for yet another generation our family's shul involvement.
In Pirkei Avot, Rabbi Tarfon is quoted as saying, "You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it." It is therefore with great pride and gratitude that we recognize you for choosing to take on our tradition of shul leadership and for continuing to complete the work that we have started. We love you.
Ariel, I'm sorry to tell you that I fell in love with Sarah before you did. I think it took about 5 minutes to be incredibly moved by who you were and who you are. It was so clear. Your deep passion and commitment to living a life framed by Torah values with enough loving disruption and rebellion to make your mark on every subject you were teaching and every important role in your life. So mazel tov, so much love and so much respect and admiration.
Thank you, Rabbanit Alyssa, for your words and your leadership. And thank you to the Gala Committee for the Herculean task of creating a meaningful event virtually. We'd also like to recognize Sandy and Noah Blumoff for their tremendous contributions to the show, including hosting us in their home and in their sukkah.
While it's nice to take full credit for one's involvement, our participation and contributions to Shul are, of course, based on the role models in our lives, starting first with our parents, who in turn had role models in their parents. We are proud to continue their tradition.
In the parsha we read last Shabbat, we are introduced to Moshe, arguably the protagonist of the rest of Chumash. What's interesting is that we know nothing about Moshe's childhood after the first few years of his life. All we know is Vayigdal, he grew up. The Pshat doesn't tell us about any formative experiences he had as a youngster growing up in Paro's palace, which must have been quite interesting. For a figure who is part of nearly every narrative in the Torah after his birth, the absence of details about his early life is striking. After all, we know that childhood experiences are formative to the people we become, as they are our foundation.
We both have vivid memories of our participation in shul as youngsters, teens, and young adults. We had role models, teachers, and rabbis that modeled for us what passion, curiosity, scholarship, and so much more looked like in the context of being part of a community.
For me, this was the women of Shirat Chana and Rabbi Kanevsky, who mentored me both formally and informally since well before my bat mitzvah, and continued to give me opportunities to teach Torah and actively participate in shul. BDJ was so deeply woven into my life growing up that I learned early on that shul is not just where we go on Shabbat mornings, but it's a lifestyle and a family. I was so excited a few years ago when I had the opportunity to host my very first shul meeting in our home, as I had seen my parents do so many times throughout my childhood.
One of my earliest memories is sitting in the stroller as I was walked to shul. At the time, my family lived across town from the shul we attended. Or I remember sitting in the shul backyard as dusk fell into Shalosh Shudas. The shul I grew up in was both physically and membership-wise smaller than BDJ. My parents volunteered their time to the shul, and in time, volunteered my time as well. Some of my earliest memories of community service are of me stuffing fundraising envelopes at fellow members' homes, having hot chocolate after walking over there in the snowy winter cold, or a pizza party on a Saturday night. It's also possible my board membership at BDJ has its roots from my senior year of high school, when I got embroiled in a shul bylaws dispute, an unusual but formative experience in thinking about what a shul is and what it means to be a member. And whatever skills I have in leading davening and laning come from my weekly involvement in the youth minyan throughout middle and high school, which allowed me to take an active role in college and post-college communities. What we love about B'nai David is the shared sense of values and commitment to the wider world while remaining dedicated to Torah and education of all its members, regardless of age and background. How davening is uplifting and inspiring, and with actually less talking than other shuls we visited.
How tremendously hard the shul staff and volunteers worked to ensure a meaningful experience in the month of Tishrei, despite the many obstacles, and how blessed we felt to be back in person with other shul members during tefillah, raising our voices to familiar tunes. How women's scholarship is a given, and dedication to women's participation in shul life is a priority, even for our teen girls.
How we learned Torah not just from the clergy, but also from knowledgeable members of our shul and invited scholars from across the wider Jewish community. How the Shir B'Ivrit encourages all to push ourselves and invite new voices to teach. How Rachul Viladim starts when shul starts and keeps our children fed and happy. And so much more, but especially how shul feels like a second home and a family. We are so fortunate that we can raise our kids as part of this community.
While we don't know the details of how Moshe was raised, we know that he was raised with a strong sense of justice and righteousness. But he found that at the time of Vayigdal, he had no community of his own. After fleeing his childhood home, he lived without a true community, as a simple shepherd for many, many years. Yet when God calls to him, he says, Hineni, I am here, a phrase used in Tanakh to denote an immediate sense of presence and willingness to serve. We are fortunate to be part of an inclusive community that raises people to be present, with so many stating, Hineni.
When God tells Moshe of his mission to free Bnei Israel from Egypt, he continually uses the phrase Yad Chazakah. He will take them out with a strong hand. We know that strength is also something that we wish for ourselves. At the end of Breshit, we said Chazak Chazak Nitchazek, strong, strong, and let us be strong. When we finish Masachet of Gemara, the Siyum liturgy all includes a similar sentiment. Just as God helped us to finish this Masachet, may God also help us to begin and complete other Masachtot. Tonight, we celebrate our strength as a community, and we come together to renew that commitment to each other so that we can continue to imitate God and strive for continued strength in our holy work.
Wonderful. Mazal Tov to Sarah and Ariel. Thank you for your words. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And on a personal note, I am so happy to count you as friends. Moving forward, I'll turn the floor over to our president, Nick Merkin. Nick is going to introduce the next segment of our program. I want to thank Nick for his steady leadership in these unbelievable times. And also underrated, maybe not everyone knows, that the Merkin House is a walking minyan factory. There is an unlimited supply of Merkin boys able to show up at a moment's notice for any minion practically anywhere in the city. We've counted on them many times, so thank you for that. With that, I turn it over to Nick. The floor is yours.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this year's BDJ Gala, where we're honoring two couples, Sandy and Noah Blumoff and Sarah Smith and Ariel Stein, for their service to our community. For years, and especially throughout this year, these honorees have served as models and inspirations for us to answer the call to be there for one another. They have shown us that physical distance doesn't have to mean emotional distance, and it doesn't have to mean spiritual distance. One of the things that we've done this year is compose a song. We did this with the help of our beloved member, Dove Rosenblatt, and his talented musical colleagues in the band Distant Cousins. You'll hear the song in a moment and watch its music video. And I'll let it speak for itself, but I want to highlight just one of its themes. We began reading Sefer Shemot, what we typically translate as the Book of Exodus. But what it really means is the Book of Names, Ve'ele Shemot B'nai Yisrael. And these are the names of the children of Israel. Those are its opening words. Sefer Shemot, however, doesn't only list the names of those who went down to Egypt. It also tells us, a few verses later, the number of them, how many, Shivim Nafesh. There were 70 plus Yosef, who, as we know, is already there. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, noticing these dual descriptions, explains that counting and naming are opposite aspects of their subject. Numbers are the ultimate equalizer. Every individual, no matter how great or how small, how young or how old, counts the same, one. No more and no less. Names are the opposite. Names individualize and distinguish one from another. Both aspects of a person are important, according to the Rebbe. We are each unique and special, but we are also each part of something greater. I think this lesson is underscored in the song that was composed by the honorees and their friends and families. It's called Holy Ground and resonates with themes that include the oneness of our community, as well as the individual and unique acts that we each take to create that unity. I hope that you enjoy it, and I look forward to a time when we can sing together again.
Together.
Present.
Participate.
Different.
Resilience.
Circle.
Possibility. Our building is more than it seems.
Love the wherever we may be.
Hi.
Hello.
Shalom, shalom.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Dove.
I'm Ami.
I'm David.
Part of this band, Distant Cousins.
Glad to be here with you tonight.
We're excited tonight with the B'nai David crew. In the next hour, our goal is to write a brand new song with all of you from scratch.
One thing we know is that in order to write a song, you have to open up. You have to not be afraid or ashamed of being vulnerable. And you also have to not be afraid to make mistakes or to not be perfect.
How you doing, Ariel? Have you ever written a song before?
Made up songs for my kids, if that counts.
Let's write the greatest song ever written. Well, let's just write a good song.
Nothing can separate us, not even iron walls. We reach out to each other, we answer to the calls. We build bridges, cross waters, we're just clay in a potter's hand. We know that we ought to plant our flag in the promised land. One community, open family, hospitality, holy ground, wherever we may be, wherever we may be.
We're just gonna have open, honest conversation. Godspeed.
You guys in there.
The community is made up of all different parts, and a lot of people stepped up. The Blumoffs are a major part of that.
Even though we can't really be close to each other, something needed to be done. It's a testament to the community that we have, that people, no matter what is needed, will sign up and be there.
Even a wall of iron
cannot separate God and Israel.
I reached out to the rabbi and offer to do outdoor minyan. Go for it. Best part about it is I'm never late to shul now.
You think about our shul and you would think, oh, it's the beautiful sanctuary. What I learned it wasn't. It was really the people and their effort.
People giving of themselves.
Openness and flexibility.
It's been very uplifting. Being in the same holy space together.
In joy and in sorrow, united through the screens, we'll see our tomorrow. Through the darkness in your eyes, see a glimmer of hope that shines across the distance that divides. The candle burns for better times.
That's Arnold. That was beautiful.
I like that. Community, open family, hospitality, holy ground, wherever we may be, wherever we may be. Holy ground, portraits of devotion. Holy ground, our tradition stays in motion. Holy ground, wherever we may be. One community, open family, hospitality. One community, open family, hospitality. Holy ground, wherever we may be, wherever we may be, wherever we may be, wherever we may be.
Wonderful. What a terrific song. Thank you, Distant Cousins. What a unique, offbeat, and yet really works thing to share with our dinner and somehow encapsulates what B'nai David is. With that, we turn it over to our Rav Yosef Kanevsky, who will introduce our next set of honorees, the Blumhoffs. Rabbi Kanevsky, please.
Sandy and Noah, we're so happy for you. It's too bad we can't do this in person. We know that you were planning to host a gala in your backyard this year.
And cook for everyone.
Or maybe potluck.
And bake for everyone.
Cookies would be good if maybe we could arrange that. But anyway, we're
Chocolate chip to be specific.
we're honored to be such good friends of yours, and I hope vice versa.
We love you guys. It's been really just a great part of our friendship. All the time that we've spent with you in your house, in your backyard, with you guys alone.
On the trail.
With others. It's been so much fun. We really value you as people. You bring so much to our community, and there's no one else who deserves this honor as much as you do.
Wow, that got real.
Hi, Sandy and Noah.
Sandra Lee and Noyach Moyach, a big, juicy mazel tov. Congratulations on a well-deserved honor. Avram Avinu could learn from your hachnasat ochim, the way you guys open your home. Kol hakavod, well-deserved.
Mazel tov, guys.
When you live far away from your family, your friends become your family, and you make lifelong traditions that get passed along to the next generation. Noah and Sandy Blumoff have made so many of us members of their family and given us their amazing traditions. But Noah and Sandy know that being part of a family is not just about sharing meals with 10 or 20 or 30 or 80 of your nearest and dearest. It's about showing up, and it's about doing what needs to be done for your family members in good times and in bad. This year, Noah and Sandy stepped up like never before for their B'nai David-Judea family. They opened their backyard and created a setting that is warm and safe and sacred so that we can all had the opportunity to daven together. So thank you for all that you do for all of us. It's an honor to be part of your family. Mazel tov.
I open my remarks this evening with a brief but heartfelt tribute to Nick Merkin, to all of our officers and lay leadership, to Adina, to Jen, to my partner, Rabbanit Alyssa, who have been ever-flowing springs of creativity, energy, and focus, and without whom we would have never been able to navigate these past remarkable months. Our collective debt of gratitude and appreciation to you is bottomless. And I similarly recognize the creative and resourceful team who envisioned this most unusual gala and who have worked tirelessly to make it a reality. Shani Rotkovitz, Shana Fishman, Abigail Mettel, Mark Katrick, Josh Kahn, and Rena Celia Cohen. Thank you all. It is with a sense of disbelief and a simultaneous sense of complete belief that I offer words of tribute to Sarah and Ariel this evening. Disbelief at the fact that 25 years have somehow passed since Sarah and I began our thoughtful Torah discussions. And complete belief because she and Ariel have both absolutely predictably become shining lights and leaders in our community. In Sarah and in Ariel, our community is blessed with two Jews who think deeply and two teachers whose devotion to imparting Torah is matched only by the inner joy that illuminates their Torah. Sarah and Ariel's Torah comes not only in the form of words, but also in the form of deeds. Deeds of kindness, of service, and of vision. Thank you, Sarah and Ariel, for showing us all the way. I remember a childhood game called Kerplunk. It involved a plastic canister perforated with numerous holes into which the players placed long toothpicks. Then, a handful of marbles was placed onto the resulting bed of toothpicks. And as play proceeded, each player had to pull out one toothpick at a time without allowing the marbles to come tumbling down. The skill in the game was in identifying which toothpick was ultimately the one that was holding everything up. The last 9 months have been sort of an institutional game of Kerplunk, as circumstances have left us with no choice but to pull back one important toothpick after another. And the question became, which of the toothpicks is the one that's going to hold everything together, that's going to keep our community aloft? Logically, it would have to be the toothpick that represented passion for community and talent for community building. Enter Noah and Sandy Blumoff. Their dearest friends, the moment you ask them, will gush about the love and the energy that Noah and Sandy have invested over so many years in creating unforgettable shared experiences. From camping, to scouting, to traveling, to weekend adventures, to country music festivals, and so much more. Noah and Sandy's objectives are always the same: to share the joy and to create a community of laughter and friendship and warmth. And literally countless numbers of us have memories of participating in ginormous Shabbat and Yom Tov meals in the Blumoff home, as they have extended their ethic of community building in every possible expansive direction. There is no bigger Pesach Seder. There are no bigger Sukkot meals than the ones that Noah and Sandy lovingly, graciously, and thoughtfully host. when it comes to building community and holding community, Noah and Sandy are the unassuming masters. Which makes it not surprising in the slightest that even before we had the chance to ask, Noah and Sandy came to us and offered their backyard for however many minyanim we would need, for however long this thing would go on. Nor, a few weeks ago, was it surprising to discover that a bag of Hanukkah chocolate gelt had been placed on each of our seats as we came to the minyan. And this was only the most recent special touch that Noah and Sandy provided for us all. This is who they are. This is how they see the world and their place in the world. Sandy and Noah are the toothpick that is glued in place, the one that holds our community together, and which, frankly, prevents us from losing our marbles. Noah, Sandy, we are grateful for all that you have done, for all that you have taught us, and for personifying so many of the virtues to which we all aspire. Humility, loyalty, generosity, hospitality, reliability, attention to detail, and quiet passion. I feel very privileged to have just recently learned the story, Noah, about the way in which you would take your own time and sit with parents at Payless Shoes to help them ensure that their children were getting just the right fit. And the numerous stories in which you, Sandy, provided an open heart and a listening ear and good advice to those who open their hearts to you. You are friends to so many and an inspiration to us all. And in Rachel, Joey, and Abby, you have given us another generation of friends and leaders who have imbibed your way of living and who are each great in their own right. And in recent days, you've also given us the first Orthodox female Eagle Scouts in history. And that's a big deal. Ukshani latzmi ma'ani. If I'm just for myself, what am I? Hillel said it, and you, our precious honorees this evening, live it every day. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone, and may we soon all dance together. Bimheira v'yameinu.
I think we're supposed to speak now. We're live, so this is different from us. So I have a small speech.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Do I need to stand for this or no?
No.
Good, thank God. I am wearing pants. As many of you know, I am typically a shy. Ooh, I messed that up already. As many as you know, I am typically a quiet, shy person. Sandy believes I need to break out of my shell and be more extroverted, so she's making me speak on her behalf. There are two lines in heaven for men. The first line is for men whose wives told them what to do. And that line stretches out as far as the eye can see. The second line is for those men who told their wives what to do. In that second line, there are only two men. The first man said to the second man, "Why are you standing here?" The second man replied, "My wife told me to stand here. So here I stand, or sit." For the past 47 years, I have maintained an unbroken record of never having attended a shul dinner. I made it clear that I would only go if someone close to me was being honored. No offense to past honorees, I'm just too frugal. So when I heard that Sandy was being honored, I realized I had no choice, I had better go. I was told I'm her +1. When Nick reached out to me stating that he and the rabbi wanted to talk to us, I responded they were welcome to use the backyard for the shul dinner, but I had limited space. They insisted that was not why they were calling, though they did not turn that down. They said they wanted us to be one of the honorees for the Shul Gala this year. We almost turned them down. We told them we are not the money bringers. Most of our friends are as frugal as we are. They insisted that they already had the money draw and not to worry, that we were the chesed people. We told them that we haven't really done much to be honored, that opening our home is not that big a deal. Apparently to some of you, it is. Let me tell you, it's not. Growing up, my parents always had the big Seder that everyone would come to and the big sukkah that was always full. To me, there was no other way to celebrate the holidays. Sandy grew up in a smaller family, so when she married me, she was sucked into this lifestyle. We thank God that our children see our way of celebrating Shabbos and Yom Tov as normal. Go big or go home, and if you're already home, go big. So opening our yard for the shul wasn't even such a big deal, at least not to us. It's the least we can do to help during this time of need. Plus, I'm never late to shul on Shabbos morning anymore, which is why we nearly turned this down. It was Sandy who said that we would do it for one reason. Not because we deserve it, not because it's about time. Rather, because if we do this, our hope is to encourage you to open up yourselves, your homes, and hearts to the community. If we can be the spotlighted example of chesed, then maybe others will follow. So while it is important to give money to keep the shul going, especially when they have to pay to fix my grass after all this is over, we are asking you to consider yourselves part of our family, and therefore believe that opening up yourselves to those around you, to give space for others, to be the normal thing to do. We now ask you to please be the guiding lights in this time of darkness and continue to be the light when we re-enter the world of normalcy. Thank you for joining us tonight. We thank Sarah and Ariel for joining us as honorees. We thank the rabbi, Rabbanit, Adina, Nick, everyone on the committees, everyone helping run the shul in this time of need. We will always, God willing, if we have the ability, open our home to you. Please join us.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Sandy. For the record, it is a big deal. Okay, let's get towards closing here. We will move forward to the game in just a moment. I hold in my hand a glass of wine. I invite you to do the same. Please join me. We'll start with a few thank yous. Rabbi Kanevsky thanked the Gala committee. I'd also like to thank those who made music such an important part of this evening. Music is such a critical part of B'nai David, and tonight is no exception. Thank Margie Horowitz, Raina Zach, Robbie Helprin for their work on the national anthems, as well as Distant Cousins led by Dov Rosenblatt for that incredible music video. I also want to extend my thanks to the leadership of the shul. Rabbi Kanevsky thanked them earlier, but let's include him in that group. Rabbi Kanevsky, Rabbanit Alyssa, our president, Nick Merkin, Adina Swartz, our director, and also the staff of the shul, Jennifer Levan and Jose Cruz. Rabbi Kanevsky spoke about the creativity and all the initiatives that we've seen over the last year. The one thing I would add to that is that this team is working themselves to the bone. It is a very challenging year to keep the shul running, to keep the shul relevant, to keep the shul meaningful in all of our lives. It's a year like no other. I encourage you, find a moment to thank those folks. They are doing outstanding and exhausting work. Thank you. With that, I raise my glass to toast. I'll keep it brief. We are living in an extraordinary year. How fortunate we are to be surrounded by extraordinary people. L'chaim, mazel tov to the honorees. Thank you all for joining. It's great to be with you all for this brief amount of time. We look forward to seeing you soon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. With that, I turn it back to our omnipotent host to transition it to the game. Please stick around for the game.
Lying on the floor, staring at the ceiling. I'm on the edge and I'm ready for the next big thing. So come on, losers and you winners like me. All you big time talkers like me. Try. You and me together, we can try to forget that it won't be forever. Swimming in the dark and I'm giving in. I got shadows in my bed, voices in my head, I'm not listening. So come on, all you sinners and believers like me. All you cheaters and forgivers go free. You and me together, we can try to forget, we can try to remember. Yeah, you got a figure from a magazine. Heaven's got your soul, you know. There's more than one way to fall. Tell me that you're looking for something else. Tell me that you gotta go, I know. There's more than one place to call home. I hope you find it. I hope you find it out there. I hope you find it. I hope you find it out there. Take a souvenir to remind you of the places you have gone and come from. Yeah, you're gonna use it when you're on your own. Tell me that you're looking for something else. Tell me that you gotta go, I know.